Hello, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Dracovan and I'm currently recording this late, so the voice is a little bit low on this one. So quick video, quick edit, but basically I attended the Manchester Regional OTS Championship and I came in with full power Blue Eyes White Dragon with the Primite engine. Quick disclaimer, I do apologise, I've been away for a while. I've been on holiday not long ago and I've been working like mental, so apologies for not uploading as previously promised, but after this deck profile we'll move back to the foundations of where we can go in terms of blue-eye strategies. But for now I'm just going to show what I brought to the table in terms of the tournament. So like stated, I'm playing Blue Eyes Primite, and I took a lot of inspiration from the Dutch national second place with a little tweaks of my own, but I failed drastically in comparison. Unfortunately, my record wasn't the best, but what I will say, it was a massive learning lesson. A lot is still yet to be learned and desired to get this deck to as better standings, but we had 5 rounds of Swiss. My matchups were Mitsurugi Pure for round 1. Round 2, I was up against Live Twin Fiendsmith Fiend Pile, I guess. I don't know. In other words, that link one's mental. It just gets into the Fiendsmith combo. So that was very impressive. And round 3, I was up against 6 Samurai. Interesting deck. That was fun. Round 4 was Pearly, and then the final round was the Blue Eyes mirror match, and sadly I did lose that one, but shout out to my opponent. Took it a bit seriously like any other Blue Eyes mirror, but yeah, it was good overall. It was nice to see old friends, and yeah, I'm hoping to get back into fanboy as soon as I can. So yeah, without further ado, let's go into the profile, show you my choices, where I would improve on, what I will take out, what I put in, etc, etc. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's get on into it. Okay, so starting off, it's pretty standard. 3 Sage, 5 Blue, OG print. Shout out to my boys way back in the day for hooking me up with these cards when I couldn't afford them. Still kept them to this day, so I really do appreciate you all, so thank you. Anyway, Sage, main starter, normal summon, add 1 level 1 light tuner, not once per turn, and then once per turn in the hand, target aim, effect monster on the board, and then send it as well as that card from your hand to the grave, special summon Blue Eyes monster from deck. And then to complement that, we had Main of White, probably the main card of the deck. She's very good. Gets you to the True Light. True Light gets you the combo playing. You special summon Blue Eyes. You can bring her back from the grave, and then if she gets targeted for attack or a card effect, then you can special summon a level 1 Light Tuner or a Blue Eyes White Dragon from the graveyard. Pretty good for what it's worth. Yeah, and then of course, let's get the bricks out of the way. 2 Blue Eyes White Dragon. I played 1 Jet Dragon because the Dutch second place used it, and I can see the practicality of it, but at the same time I was just like, this feels like a brick. There was 1 game where I popped off and it worked a lot in my favor, and that was the 6 Samurai matchup, but no, it was alright. It didn't do too bad for me. This card, however, I'm not very impressed with it. Most of my games I sided it out. Depending on if I change my extra deck, I might keep it in, but it's argued to be the bridge, if you will. If you don't have Primite, you know, you go into this instead, and it can help you get into like a sub-medium combo to get the Blue Eyes going, but I wasn't impressed with this, so I think from future reference I will be taking this out. But for the better part of the Blue Eyes engine, definitely the Primite Ether Barrel. Barrel is just such an incredible card. If you resolve this to get to the Drill Beam, then you're in a very, very good position. But on normal summon, you can set a Primite card, spell, or trap from your deck, and then you can tribute itself to dump a blue or normal monster from the decks to the graveyard. So pretty good for what it's worth. But half the time you typically go into the Link 1. So that's more or less the main engine. Moving on to the non-engine. So mainly hand traps, but I suppose this is somewhat of a bridge as well. But this is your Magnet. It's like a DD Crow, but a body as well. If you put on control of the monster, it becomes a quick effect. Target a light or dark monster in either graveyard and banish it. And if you do, special summon the card. And then if it's special summon, you can add a dragon monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. And I was a fool because I'd completely forgot I could do that from the grave. There was moments where I could get barrel back to the hand, but unfortunately, and I'm not that well versed on it, unfortunately. So that's cost me a game or two. One Veiler because it's searchable through Sage. Ash Blossom, pretty good in this deck. Definitely works a lot when you need it to. But I think what was really the MVP overall was Drone Lockbird. Not only is it like a game stopper in terms of adding cards from decks to the hand, but it's also like a spellcaster. So in case you have poor hand, you can use this to get into the Link 1. So I think maining it was a really good decision. Mulchami Thralls, yeah, it's good, and it's definitely helped me out in 2 games over the tournament. I'm still learning it to use it for its full potential, but it was alright. I'm not going to complain. And then 2 Nibiru, just because we have to. There's too many combo decks out there. Mix Rugi is a good contender against it. White Forest is pretty good against it. Malice, anything that could summon a lot of bodies is really important to get the nib out. So yeah, pretty hefty hand trap lineup now, but that's all the monsters. Moving on to the spells now. So on the spells, 3 Wishes of either blue, fantastic card. It sucks when you get ashed on it though, but if you can get it resolved, add 1 level 1 like Tuna, and 1 spell trap that mentions exactly Blue Eyes White Dragon from deck to hand, accepts itself, and then second effect, banish this card from the grave, and then put a fusion monster onto a Blue Eyes White Dragon as the equip spell, which can get into the Tyrant, but we'll get later on in the video. Unfortunately, we are running more bricks. Seeing any of these in your hand is not ideal, but Raw is your special summon from deck, grave, or hand. No, not hand, sorry, excuse me, but graveyard or deck. Mausoleum, the combo piece. True Light to set things up, but you want ideally to get into the Maiden. And then Majesty. This card's fantastic, but you never want to see it in your hand. But really good card for what it's worth. Definitely won me a couple of games for sure. Carrying on from this, it's the more beautiful package. 3 load and 2 Primite Drill Beam. A lot of people tend to play 1, but I feel having the second Drill Beam, so many players do not expect it, especially if you have it in your hand and you have either a Primite card or a normal monster. So very, very good for what it's worth. But yeah, Load is an insane card. You know, if you just have this and you can add the Primite monster, normal to the Primite monster, set the Drill Beam, or alternatively you can have Primite monster, set the load activation, add this in your hand at the ready. So that's pretty good for what it's worth. But yeah, I really like this engine. Once you set this up in Blue Eyes or anything like mid-range control, Drill Beam is just phenomenal. Very, very good card. And then round up the spells, 1 Call By, 1 Talents. Talents has won me a game, so that was pretty nice. Call By, I don't think I've seen it as much, if I can't remember, but it was alright. You know, it did the job for what it did. Quickly moving on to the traps, 2 Dominus Purge, and then 3 Infinite Permanence. Purge is fantastic. It's just another Ash Blossom. As long as you don't use it in a hand, you won't be locked out of fire, water and dark monsters, which is fine, because I think the only monster that is relevant in terms of fire would be Ash Blossom, and dark would be Magnet. So yeah, that pretty much rounds up the main deck. We'll go to the extra deck now. There definitely will be changes moving forward, but to Blue Eye Spirit Dragon. Again, shout out to my boys from all the many moons ago for hooking me up with the original Shining Victories first edition. Really love you. One of the Ultimate Spirit Dragon. Tempted to put a second one in, but it's just a case of finding space. But yeah, this is more or less mandatory at the minimum. So negates grave effects, soft ones per turn, so if you have 2 on board, it's really good. Tag out to special summon a Light Dragon Synchro, so you can get this out. This is a Omni negate on the board, and then if this dies due to Spirit's Effect, you can bring back a Light Dragon from your graveyard, so that's pretty neat. This card has won me so many games today. Lightstone Dragon. So Lightstone Dragon, I don't think you need much of an explanation. On Synchro Summon, if you have, or Special Summon rather, you can target X amount of spells and traps on the field up to the number of normal monsters in your graveyard plus 1. So if you have 1 blue eyes, you typically target 2, which is more than enough. And then if it dies, you can set a spell or trap from your grave back onto your field, but you have to have a normal monster on board. But outside of that, this card was insane. Really, really done me well. A nice cute Techo Light for going for OTKs, Ancient Fairy Life Dragon. Fantastic card. Tag this out for this. This is in defense. This can attack the opponent. So in defense position, that's pretty good. The cards that I never really had the chance to use, I'm starting to understand why people don't do it anymore, is Crimson Dragon and Cypher Dragon. Because the chances are I'm playing the control game on my turn 1, so it's very unlikely I'm going to get, unless I have both spirits on board, it's very unlikely that I'm going to get to Cypher, because Cypher will protect the Ultimate Spirit of Blue, or whatever it's called. Sorry, I'm out of type. But no, never use these all day, unfortunately, so these might be taken out for something else. Links though, 2 Spirit with either blue. This is more or less your combo starter. Anything that's a level 1 spellcaster, you know, just normal summon it even on the rubbish hands and then get your combo going. Add Mausoleum, and then Mausoleum, target it, dump a normal monster in grave, use this, tribute for cost, special blows like dragon. Pretty strong, pretty strong. But this card, this was the one of my, but no, this was definitely the card of the day. Heraldic Seals was really good for me. Definitely got me out of a lot of tight spots. Played one of the Lion of the Light Charmer. This was very good in the Blue Eyes Mirror. Won me a game, so definitely recommend playing her. She doesn't cover as much, but when she does, you're in a good spot. Those are more or less the links. Now moving on to the fusions. One of each. Tyrant and Blue Eyes Ultimate Neo Dragon. Really good cards for what they're worth, but once you get Tyrant on board through using the Blue Eyes White Dragon whilst it's equipped, this thing is more or less going to win you the game on the spot. So really good for what it's worth. And then after the battle phase, if it battles a monster or in general, you can set a trap in the grave. So typically you would set the Majesty and you definitely get the Oppression. And then of course you can, anything that will target a Blue Eyes White or Blue Eyes monster in general, you can banish this and again destroy it. So both really good for what it's worth. And then finally, backup plan, Typhon. Used it a couple of times, but unfortunately didn't get me there. But it is what it is. And then moving on to my sideboard now. Sexy Field Center, cute tokens. So it's alright. Okay, for my actual sideboard though, back row hate, 2 Lightning Storm, 1 Duster. I made the fatal error of not putting these in my game 3 of the Blue Eyes Mirror, because my opponent was more or less set up with the Solemns and Majesties and stuff. So, and one of the cards I would have sided out. If I would have probably had this, there was a good chance of getting this, but I chose to slide back in the draw instead, unfortunately. So this could have won me the game, but here we are. Speaking of back row, Solemn Judgment. It's too good for this deck. You know, you need as much control as possible in order to go in for the kill on the following turn. Free gold spell, just to deal with likes of Mitsurugi, Fiendsmith and stuff like that. So that was a pretty good card. Luckily I didn't see it all day, but I had Lancey ready for the matchup. And then, like I said, inspiration from the Dutch second place, 2 Bestials. And then instead of Skill Drain, I decided to opt for Crossout Designator, just in case I came across a lot of the hand traps. I think my main threat was either the Mirror or Nibiru, and unfortunately I never saw the Crossout Designator. So, but no, that's the deck profile. Moving forward, we definitely will be editing this and taking out the bricks. It was 45, but I'm definitely thinking of going back to 43. Taking out Jet and taking out Kaiser. Kaiser for me did not do a lot, but maybe that's because I'm just a terrible player. But no, that's the profile. So, like I said, apologies for the lack of content as of late, but here's my profile now of top tier competitive Blue Eyes. I'll get back into the more from the ground up builds, so please expect a Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon build coming up next. We'll go for an Invoke variant next, we'll look at the Metal Morph variant, and we'll look for many other options to come. But thank you for your patience, and until next time, this is Dragon here, signing out. I hope you have a good day.